Hello my stamping friends, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky Paper Crafts here today with I'm going to call it a Stamparatus 101. If you've just gotten a Stamparatus or are considering getting one, I'm just going to show you how quickly and easily you can use it right out of the box. So it has two magnets that are super strong. They can come together and fracture. I've been very fortunate that it hasn't happened to me, but if it does, all you need to do is kind of wrap them up a little bit in some tape, and that'll make sure that the edges aren't too sharp. I also know a lot of people who have used either washi tape, painter's tape, scotch tape, masking tape, just to kind of make a little handle or a tab so that if they do come together, they're easy to pull apart. It does come with the two plates, and it's a hinged setup. So you can easily take your plates out. You can wash them, you can put them back on. And if you want to do linear stamping, like you want to have something, say you're doing a birthday card and you want to have happy birthday 3 or 4 times in a row, all you need to do is ink it up, stamp it, move it down, ink it up, stamp it, move it down, and it will be perfectly spaced every single time. It does come with the 2 stamping plates. You can get extras if you're doing, say, wedding invitations or birthday invitations or something that has a lot of, you need it for a lot of repetition just so that you can set everything up and be done. I've done it for classes where we're going to be making 3 or 4 cards and everything is ready to go. All you have to do is ink it up and good to go. I am going to use the Special Someone stamp set today to show you the double stamping technique. So I'm going to ink up the squirrel in Memento. I'm going to ink up the happy birthday with Pacific Point, I think. And then up top, I have the fill for the squirrel that I'm going to use gray granite or crumb cake. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. Okay, here's my Memento. One of the tips that has been my favorite tip of all time with the Stamparatus is to put either the stamp case or an ink pad underneath as you're inking it up, because it will give you perfect impression, and you don't need to worry too much about how it's going or if it's going to be properly inked. I'm going to use Pacific Point for the happy birthday. And that's one of the good things too, is you can use multiple colors in one go. All right, happy birthday is done. Now I lined everything up before I got started. I always do a test piece first. Oh, looks like I'm gonna have to shift the magnet just a bit. Okay, and then press. So this is great for somebody who doesn't have a whole lot of hand mobility or hand strength, because you can just keep going over it. And if you're not happy with the way that it's inked when you open it up, re-ink it, close it again, and do it again. You can go over it with another stamp block or a dry erase marker eraser, just because that little bit of extra foam padding can give it a little bit of extra pressure as well. So that turned out really well. And then I haven't inked this yet, so when I bring this down, I'm just going to make sure that it's exactly where it needs to be, and if it's not, I can shift it just a tiny bit. Or making sure that your stamp is clean. You can also go exactly over, and this is how I lined it up the first time. So sometimes there's markers or like clear indicators of where it needs to be. And for this guy, it's his eye and the tip of his ears make it fairly clear where he needs to be. So I'm going to lift him up gently. I'm going to stamp block underneath. I'm going to grab my gray granite, and then I'm just going to stamp them up. Looks like I had ink on my hands. No worries, easily fixed by a little bit of bling. Okay, and then just rub, press them down, and there you go. There's our little friend, quickly and easily finished. Then I'm going to close this up and I'm going to move it off to the side. I'm going to finish the card. So I've got some Misty Moonlight cardstock with a piece of the Artistry Blooms Designer Series paper, which is so, so pretty. Put my adhesive on both sides. Bring him down. And actually, he's a little bit bigger than I want him to be, so I'm just going to bring in my trimmer. Whoops. And I'm going to cut 4 1/4 inch off of that side. And then I think I'm going to make him about, yes, that works. Okay. So there's our little happy birthday squirrel. I'll put him right here in the center. And then because the rhinestones are never really very far away from my desk, nor is my take your pick tool, I'm going to add some of the medium-sized rhinestones in a few different spots just to give it a little bit of bling. Oops. Let's see. Oops. Popping off quite easily today. Oh, I had another one on there, that's why. One over there. Over there. And one more, because I like odd numbers on my cards. All right. Actually, that doesn't look like it's evenly balanced. Okay. And there's our card. So that was part 1 of the Stamparatus. Next week, I am going to do part 2, and I'm going to show you how to do circle stamping on the Stamparatus. It's not as complex as it sounds, I promise. So if you've enjoyed the video, please hit subscribe so you're notified every single time that I go live. I've also been starting to do YouTube lives on Thursday at 7 p.m. Central. This month's theme is masculine cards, and this week I am going to be using Enjoy the Moment stamp set. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fabulous day.